Hello, my friends. I'm Andrea, and I would like to present you a overview of the summer with focus on Jupiter. I will come back with focus on Uranus as well, and with other important movements in the sky. But let's focus on the planet of good luck, Jupiter, which will change signs in sidereal and in tropical as well. I would like to take this from both angles, as you know, especially for world events, it makes sense. And I would like to start with the first impression that we have, so to speak. It's the switching into the Sidereal Taurus, which happened already on 30th of April. And this is very important for the markets because it marks the ingress, the transformation, the luck, and the expansion, which is a symbol for Jupiter in Taurus, which is the sign of finance, as you know, banking, financial transactions, and in general, nature as well, food as well. So such industries will be favored, and not only, we will go deeper into that soon in a few minutes. So 30th of April, we already have this change of energy, and 1 month after, roughly on the 25th of May, we do have the ingress, so Jupiter entering the tropical sign of Gemini, which basically is a symbol for markets, for transportation, for social networks. This means that such topics will be favored in the next year. Jupiter will stay in the tropical Gemini roughly for 1 year until May 2025. And we get Jupiter with full speed ahead. And I would like to talk about this as well, because the lunar constellations that are traversed are the same. So it's the same constellation, the same fixed stars, both in sidereal and in tropical. And I would like to go and cover the summer, so the period until the end of July, and to talk about the atmosphere in the market, so to speak, because this is very important, but also tapping into the industries and trends that are really favored during this time. The first thing that I would like to analyze are the global aspects in the financial markets and the movement of big planets, so to speak. And yes, we have the focus on Jupiter. First of all, I would like to say that from May onwards, we will have a, let's say, not so high pace, so it would be slower. The things will slow down because progressively more and more planets will go retrograde. We started already with Pluto in May. On the 2nd of May, Pluto turned retrograde, and then progressively we will see also other big planets like Saturn, Neptune, Uranus turning retrograde. And the good news is that Jupiter will stay direct until October, which means that at least one trigger for growth will be quite prominent, so we don't worry about that. And Uranus will also have its ingress in the Sidereal Taurus, so it's not, freezing. The development is not freezing. We will go on, so it's no problem. It seems very promising. And why do I say that? Because the end of May, so just before the ingress of Jupiter on the 25th of May in the tropical Gemini, we do have a very important aspect, Jupiter sextile Neptune, which will really increase optimism in the markets. It will increase expectations. People will be more idealistic and will believe in expansion, in growth. This means that more money will flow in the markets, and also the market cap is likely to grow, especially in May, but I would say June could be a big peak in terms of growth at market cap level. Now we do have June, and June is also a very important period in the markets. I would say maybe one of the most important for the summer. In any case, the most important month from the ones that I cover right now, because we do have a Jupiter trine Pluto right at the beginning of June on the 3rd. And this means that regulation will be favorable. Pluto is the big money. It's the money inflows from funds that would flow in the markets. And it's also Pluto, so this means people in power are benevolent, because Jupiter will make a very easy, positive, long-term aspect towards it, which means that June will be a period of growth. More than that, I think it would be the period of peaks, really, because we do have the faster moving planets, which are Mercury and Venus, both out of bounds from the mid of the month until the end of the month, approximately. I will come up with detail in the respective months. But what is important to take into account is the fact that we will have an exaggeration of the price action, so to speak, the positive, but also the negative influences in general. So volatility will be high, but we have predominantly positive influences because we don't have other aspects that are negative from Saturn, for example, not this month. This means that we have the green light to grow. And because Venus, which represents cryptocurrency and money in general, and we have also Mercury, which represents markets, both go out of bounds at the same time. This means that the likelihood to reach new highs in crypto in general, in Bitcoin, but also altcoin season will be quite high. And we do have here a very, I would say, a very fast pace, because Jupiter will have quite a speed. It will traverse the whole sidereal Taurus, 20 degrees of it, which is more than half, because each sign has 30 degrees. So imagine we have this in the first month, we get already an idea how it will be the next year, because Jupiter will traverse it so quickly. So this means high-speed developments in finance. And June will be the pinnacle of it, with growth on the market cap because of Jupiter, Pluto trine, and also about big peaks in general in prices, in markets, because of the Mercury and Venus being out of bounds. Now, what happens in July? July will be also quite positive, but we don't have the Mercury and Venus out of bounds anymore. We do have, though, a positive influence from Rahu. So Jupiter sextile Rahu, this will also increase the risk appetite, and this is also a hallmark of big pumps in general in markets, because this will grow quite fast, but Rahu is not sustainable in general. So you have Jupiter and Rahu, both planets of expansion, in a positive angle to each other, really enhancing the way the markets evolve. And this happens on the 12th of July. The aspect is exact, and usually when we have such a long-term aspect exact in the mid of the month, this means that pretty the whole month will be under this strong influence, and we will have also the other quicker moving planets on top of it, in order to give shape to the price action. Jupiter is still direct, Mercury is direct, so we will have again speed, but yes, we will have Saturn, Neptune retrogrades that would be communicated. They are not so important for the market as such, but they are important for psychology of masses in general, and we will come up with the exact dates. Critical points will be the ones when these outer planets like Pluto, Neptune, and Saturn will change direction in summer. So I will make sure you are aware of these dates, and we will see them in the price section for the respective months and also for the respective week. And now I would like to go into the sidereal nakshatras and to really outline what happens during this time until the end of July, to give you a flavor of the speed. Yes, we know it will be speed. 20 degrees are covered already. So what are the stars, their influence, their significance, which industries are affected, and what can we expect from crypto? So stay with me if you want to know all about this. The conjunction between Uranus and Jupiter took place in the Krittika nakshatra in the first pada at the end of the sidereal Aries. And this meant that we had a powerful new beginning that, of course, was not immediately seen. It needs to be activated by the Sun, Mercury, and Venus. We will talk about this soon with concrete dates. And what is important is that the trigger, the beginning, happened in the Pushkara Navamsha, which is a very positive area of this constellation, Krittika, which has the knife as the symbol. Krittika is the star of the entrepreneurs, finance. It's the possibility to really cut through problems and get to the root of the things, of the whole thing. So this means that we will be as collectively, so to speak, in this time inspired by Jupiter, which traverses this nakshatra, to really get deeper to the root cause of the various happenings in our lives, but also as, psychologically speaking, to see what are our blockers. And we will be very interested to dig into that. Now we do have in Taurus, from 0 of Sidereal Taurus, the Krittika nakshatra, pada 2, 3, and 4. So we talk about the last 3 padas. The last pada is also Pushkara Navamsha, which means that it's very strong. And this transit will happen before July. So I warned you, it's a quite fast transit, and we will get a first feeling of what does it mean to have this new start, fresh start in the financial system from a global perspective. As you see, we do have padas that are ruled by Saturn in the middle and by Jupiter at the extremes, so to speak. This means that we will get a lot of innovation in the beginning, but then it will be consolidation. So this means that, for example, here in the first pada, we see with the conjunction, we will discover problems. We will be inspired to really identify them and find the root cause. And in Capricorn, we will have a strategy how to handle these problems in general. And in Aquarius, it will be about scaling. Whatever strategy works at a small scale, it will be expanded in Aquarius with inspiration and with a decentralized, let's say, less power-driven approach in general in the world. We can see it globally. And the last pada with Pisces, it will be about real implementation, expansion, imagination also, but a way of internalizing the new way of thinking in finance at a massive level. It will be the propagation of our findings of implementing the strategy at a large scale. And this to happen in, a few months, I think we will be amazed by the development that we will see. We see also the fact that people will get more humanitarian in general, oriented towards others, as you see in terms of mass psychology. We can see a lot of networks, decentralized DAOs, or maybe another form that will really shift finance to the next level. And here we get a bridge between Capricorn, which is quite hierarchical, structural, it's quite obeying to the rules, to something that is more creative into Aquarius and Pisces. And this will cover actually the month of June, I think, and in July we already go into the nakshatra of Rohini. I will talk about it in a few moments. Now, the quality of Jupiter, because Jupiter is the one which transits, is really linked to these padas. As you see, Jupiter is very strong in Sagittarius and in Pisces, which means that we will have the beginning and the end of this period where Jupiter transits the Krittika nakshatra in the next 2 months as quite powerful, with good results and with a promising beginning in general. Actually, if we think about the eclipse, we get, for example, for BTC, we get a top. It was not the highest, but it was over 71K. And then we cut, through it because it has still the symbol of the knife. So it will be sanitized before it will grow again on a stable foundation. In modern astronomy, it is linked to the Pleiades constellation. It's a symbol of 7, which is also a sacred number. So we can say that it will be a uniformly spread approach. There are 7 days in the week, so to speak. So I think we can look at a logical way to implement finance everywhere, in the next month. And of course, Jupiter will retrograde on some degrees, more to that in autumn, and these will be revisited. But now we get a flavor of what happens. We see here the symbol of it. It's a goat. Therefore, I'm talking about sanitizing, but also criticizing. So we see that it's connected, yes, to fire and to cooking. So industries like food, restaurants will go through a transition. I would say we will be much more critical and attentive what we eat. And we will also be interested in topics like, I would say, the film industry will also be revolutionized in terms of criticism, in terms of assessing the new AI paradigm that comes in such artistic activities. And this will be examined quite in detail in the months to come, especially while we have Jupiter in Krittika. People in general will be more critical. And once you criticize something, the weaknesses, then you can go also in really problem-solving mode and solve these problems in the financial system in an organized manner, and then to apply the strategy at a large scale. And then Pisces would be the culmination of this learning that would be applied mass level and intuitively. So here I would really expect changes in such domains, like for sure food, restaurants, banking, because it's related to Taurus, Krittika, all about novels, even filmmaking, and this will have a strong link with the AI. And I think the most important changes will be while we have this Krittika nakshatra traversed and we have this pada of Aquarius activated. More details to come up in my subsequent updates. And now I would like to talk a bit about Rohini. This gets also very interesting. In the second part of June and in July, we do have an energy change. And this is about the nakshatra of Rohini, which will be traversed by Jupiter. And this will be a lucky time, especially for the second pada, where we do have the 13 degrees 20 minutes until 16 degrees 40 minutes of Taurus. So really the middle of Taurus activated, which is the second pada, and it's the Pushkara Navamsha, also Pushkara Bhaga and Yogatara, which means it's the single constellation in the sky, which has all the hallmarks of the constellation, all of them grouped in the same pada, which is really a very big thing. And we would like to take this into account as a pinnacle of the development, especially, I would say, in the second part of June and transitioning into July, when we have also a Jupiter-Rahu positive aspect in the mid of July on the 12th. Now, what is important to know, Rohini is a nakshatra of growth, of nature. So the interest about sustainability, but also the progress towards it with various enterprises, businesses, and also tokens, why not? They would really be linked to the soil, to the environment. All these actions have the opportunity to grow, and agriculture as such. So I do think here we will have a lot of innovation in agriculture, and it will be about growing plants faster, about expansion, and we can look forward to a very interesting summer in this regard. Rohini has the symbol, besides agriculture and plants growing, it's about the link to vehicles, to the chariot in the mythology, which means that we do have here the promised expansion in the transportation industry in general. Also, electric vehicles, we know that the whole environment went down, including Tesla and so on. I think here, when Jupiter will traverse Rohini, especially, so the second part of June, July, we will see the first signs of recovery, and some innovation will happen there. This is something that we can expect. Rohini is also a nakshatra of enjoyment, about, being delightful in general and appreciating the details and the small things in life which bring you happiness. So the human consciousness will be enabled to go into this direction where we do have this important influence of optimistic attitude in such areas. Rohini is also about nature exploration. It's about textiles that are natural, so these will be appreciated, and we can see also developments in the fashion, in textile industry, and this is something that we can look forward to. Why not? Maybe we need a fresh air in such areas also in the next years. Whatever happens now will be revisited a bit later, because we will have Jupiter going retrograde and it will be more stable. It's also about marketing all of these, because we have Jupiter in the tropical part of Gemini, which is about trading, marketing, packaging these fashion, the vehicles in a attractive way, and it will be expanded in terms of distribution as well. We might see also new types of distribution, for example, new social networks to come. Important is that Rohini is all about business. So businesses, small enterprises, people that go into entrepreneurship, solopreneurship, especially solo, I would say. Why? Because we do have the correspondence with the modern astronomy, the Aldebaran as a star, which is Alpha Tauri, and this is a single star. So not too many constellations are with a single star. So this really shows a concentration of the energy towards a solo source, so to speak, and therefore I would rather see this solopreneurship on the verge of growth in the next month. We will have 3 padas of Rohini traversed until the end of July. It is the first, the second, and the third pada, with the beginning of July, basically, so the first half, in any case, that would be the culmination, the most interesting, and this Rahu influence also pinpoints towards it. Now, there are some cryptos that are very linked to Rohini. Of course, we have a connection between, Rohini and I would say the interesting charts of blue chips, especially I would say Bitcoin here. And this will also trigger growth. So Rohini especially is a nakshatra that would be favorable to the growth of Bitcoin and Ethereum in general, I would say as well, but maybe a bit less from the star perspective. In any case, it's associated with growth. It's really a nakshatra that we can look forward to. And it's also ruled by the moon. This means that it can be moody. So in this part of the summer, we will have the markets driven by the mood of the people a lot. This always happens, but maybe this time it will be even more than that. And this is important to take into account also for further planning for your target, so to speak. But the mood will be optimistic. It's on the grow. It's on enjoying beautiful things in life. It's about being optimistic and enjoying the summer. Normally, we do have the transit here of planets like Venus, Mercury, of course, that activate this. But this time we have Jupiter as well. We have Jupiter-Venus conjunction really triggering in May and preparing the whole summer. Jupiter is expansion. Venus is cryptocurrencies and currencies. So we can look forward to maybe a delayed bull market with all the geopolitical turbulence in the world, but nevertheless, this will come. Stay tuned for other more timely updates with concrete dates in the months to come, especially for members on Patreon and Telegram at first, and we will see how this goes for crypto, and looking forward to cash in profits. Thank you so much for your attention, for liking and subscribing, and until next time, be joyful. See you.